stars, and it's 40 love poems. 40 love poems. 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40 love poems. And it's $1. The link is in the description. The link is in the description. Give me 5 stars. I really appreciate it if you check that out. Give me 5 stars. I appreciate it if you check that out. Give me 5 stars. Thank you, thank you. I just tried to recreate a beat. I was listening to a song and I was like, let me try and make my version of this, and I mean, I made something, but I don't know if I'm happy with it. I think sometimes I'm realizing that it's just better to make stuff on your own terms. When inspiration hits you in a more organic way, when you try to like recreate something, I've seen with myself when I try to recreate something, it's never like something that I'm proud of. I operate best when I'm just creating from a place of experimentation. I'm not really trying to replicate anything. I'm just trying stuff out and seeing what works, what doesn't, you know. Because I think the mindset you're in when you're trying to recreate something is like you're trying to make it exactly that thing, you know. So you're not thinking as freely. You're kind of limiting yourself because you're trying to replicate something very specific. So that's not the best mindset to be in when you're trying to do something creative, you know. You wanna free up your mind. Give yourself the freedom to try out different things and go in different directions. So I need to stop doing that. When inspiration hits me, when I'm listening to something, inspiration hits me, I just need to let that sit and come back to it another time, because whenever I try and replicate a sound, oh my gosh. I don't even know if it's necessarily that it's bad, but it's just the end result will be so different from what I was listening to that I you know, it's hard to vibe to it because it's like it wasn't what I was going for. I'm not good at copying, you know. I'm not good at like taking something and making it again. Anyway, I was thinking about that. You know, I was also thinking about like with these videos, it's always the ones that you're not even trying that hard that end up doing well. Like you didn't intend for them to do well, and then they end up doing well. And then the ones you actually want to do well, you know, they do okay. It's just interesting how that works. So it's making me realize I shouldn't focus too much on trying to, you know. Oh, where did that go? I just threw something. I shouldn't focus too much on trying to like have successful videos because it never works out that way. Like it never actually ends up doing that. But I think it's gonna be. I think it's better to just go slow, make the videos, show up every day, and trust that as I'm showing up every day, one of these motherfuckers will tip. That's exactly what happened with that one video that ended up getting 100,000 views. Shout out to that video. That's my first one. I did not think that video was gonna do that. You know, I was just making it like I was making the other ones, and it took off. So you just gotta be patient and trust that. One of the videos will do what it needs to do. Cause bro, every time I try to get that viral video. So yeah, I was watching this this channel I watch all the time. Juan, Marcel, and Riley. There's like a couple that do travel videos together. And it's so interesting seeing the locations they go to. They were in Korea, they were in Japan. Now they're back in the States, and they were giving like a tour video of like New York. New York looks nice. New York looks really nice. I think as a tourist, you can have fun. You know, there's a difference between living in a place and visiting. Two very different things. You don't get when you're a tourist, you don't get the most accurate representation of a place. You're kind of looking at it through a very limited perspective. So New York can seem magical when you're just there for like a couple of days, and then you can dip. But when you have to live there and you start to witness the realities, I think that's what can end up changing your perception. Because we hear about the crime, we hear about the cost of living, we hear about all the different issues that are currently plaguing the great state of New York, and you're like, I don't know. But I have to say it does look nice. Actually, I know someone that went to New York, and she was raving about it. She was like, "This is amazing. I want to go back. Send me back." Ooh, that sounds nice. Fun fact. I don't know if this is still the case, but the last time I checked, my biggest portion of my audience is actually in New York, which is surprising. I don't know if that's still the case though. So like I was looking at my YouTube stats, and the biggest city in the world that has the highest concentration of viewers that watch my channel is from New York. Let me know in the comments if you're from New York. Let me know. Oops. Why is this thing open? I thought it was closed. One thing I'm trying to get there at is talking loud. Because I'm like, oh my gosh. It's on the floor. It's a crucial element for people enjoying the video. The actual triggers. You know, an example of like the image versus the reality is like Cape Town, South Africa. Like if you visit Cape Town, South Africa, you're gonna have a fun time. It's very beautiful, very like picturesque and all these things. Like Iron Man, the Iron Man house from the Iron Man movies. That house on the cliffside, I think. It was shot in Cape Town. It's called the Iron Man House, and you can visit it. And I think they rent it out for events and parties and stuff. That was shot in Cape Town. It's very beautiful. But then you actually live in Cape Town. If you actually live in Cape Town for like more than a few weeks, like you live there for a while, you start to notice the issues. You're like, okay. the government is inefficient and crime is a problem. Oh my God, how many people have been kidnapped in Cape Town? I don't know. I think there's a serious issue of tourists getting kidnapped. I'm not trying to scare people away. I'm just trying to paint that picture. That everything's not always what it seems on the, like, you have to look deeper than the surface to really get the reality of what the locals are dealing with. Like, I'm sure that with Paris, for example, I could have a good time in Paris if I stayed away from the more rougher neighborhoods and stuff. But the locals will tell you, it ain't what it used to be. Pretty rough these days. Anyway. Let me check. Which city? Analytics. Audience. Okay. Location is fine. By the way, 66% of the people on this channel are not subscribed, which is, it's kind of preposterous. 66% are not subscribed. Make that make sense. Let's see cities. Number one is, drum roll. I really don't know. I haven't checked in a while. That could be surprise. Number one is, hurry up. Why isn't this thing moving down? Number one is what? Oh, it's still New York. It's still New York. And it's not close. That is interesting. And then second is Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. That's fascinating. Wait. From what time period though? So it's tracking the last, how many days? I think it's tracking the last 28 days. So let me say lifetime. The biggest city, number one is, drum roll. Lifetime. New York. Shout out New York, man. Shout out New York. Y'all are holding me down. That's crazy. So let me tell you the top 5. New York, Kuala Lumpur, Los Angeles, California, Sydney, Australia, Chicago, Illinois, USA, Chicago, Chi-town, Chirac, as they say. Shout out to y'all. I would visit New York. I would. It does look beautiful. I would visit Kuala Lumpur and Malaysia, of course. I think that would be good. I don't know if I'd visit LA. I'm not sure if I would. I would visit Sydney, Australia. Yeah, that would be nice. And Chicago. You shouldn't just believe the media, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to risk it. I'll come back. I'm joking. No, I'm not joking. Listen, you're trying to be brave, trying to be a hero. I'm sure it's not that bad. I'm sure the rumors aren't true when you go there. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm sure there's many good areas in Chicago. If you just stick to those areas, I'm sure you'll be fine. I'm sure you'll be 100%. You just have to be aware of where you are, and you have to be aware of where not to go. I'm sure you'll be. I'm sure you'll be gravy. I'm sure there are a lot of people living nicely in Chicago. The stats are the stats, and I wish you all a speedy recovery. I want everyone to be doing well. I want everyone living in safe neighborhoods. You know, it's interesting. I live in South Africa, and at some point we were rated the crime capital of the world. South Africa rated the crime capital of the world. A lot of crime. But it's like in certain places. I've never been mugged. Not once in my life. Thank God. Praise the Lord. And I pray for his continued protection. But I'm saying that just to say it's interesting. You can live in the quote unquote crime capital of the world and not ever be mugged once. But that's just because I've always been blessed to live in safe neighborhoods. I've never lived in a rough part of town before. Not once. I'm very blessed because of that. Even where the schools I've gone to have always been safe, and I always had good friends. The people I always associated myself with were always good kids. I never found myself in any crazy situation. So I do think it's possible to I'll say this, there's a lot you have to take into account when you're hearing the news about certain places around the world. So like I was saying with Chicago, I'm sure there are many places in Chicago you can go to where you don't have to worry about too much. But when someone wants to move to a country or move to a city, like these are things you do have to consider. Like what are the crime rates saying? Like it's not enough to just say, oh, just stay out of the dangerous parts, you'll be fine. Like you never know, man. You never know when that stuff is going to catch up. Especially like when you're a family and you want to move your kids with you, like you got to think about these things. You don't want to move your kids to a dangerous place. So it's like if someone wants to move to South Africa and you hear South Africa is the crime capital of the world. It's not now. I don't think it is now. But at some point, I think we held that title, which is a trash title to go. But yeah, I'd imagine it keeps people away. It scares off potential immigrants who want to bring value to the country. But anyway. Back to New York. New York, even though it's going through some trouble, I think it would be nice to just see. I remember watching Spider-Man. Spider-Man is my favorite superhero, and he's from New York. And I'll be seeing New York all the time. Like the Spider-Man trilogy, the OG one with Tobey Maguire. I remember just seeing New York in those movies. It looked so sick, dude. I was like, whoa. I want to be there. I want to see what that's like. You just see New York represented in so many ways by so many different mediums, whether it be music, movies, TV shows, games. You just hear about New York constantly, right? Yeah. So it's definitely one of those places that is etched in a lot of people's mind. And I wouldn't mind visiting. LA, I don't know. My image of LA is just just to be honest, just to be quite frank, all the gay stuff and people just walking around in bikinis. I'm just being honest. That's my image of LA. Like when I think LA, that's what I think. Like vegans, rainbow flags everywhere, and just people walking around. I'm sure people aren't walking around in bikinis, but for some reason that's the image that pops in my mind. Yeah, so I don't know if I'd really. It's just not my vibe. It doesn't appeal to me. It just seems very soft and like flamboyant. I don't know, dude. Don't be mad at me. I'm just being honest. I'm not. That's not a judgment. It's just what's the word I'm looking for? An analysis, an honest conveying of what I see. I heard the food in California is good in different Californian cities, like LA in particular as well. But many parts of Texas are starting to take that crown. Many parts of Florida as well are starting to take that crown. I'm hearing at least. Like Florida has a great Cuban culture, so you get great Cuban food. And I think they also have like a lot of Vietnamese people, so you get Vietnamese food and so on and so forth. Texas, like, oh my god, I've been watching a lot of Texan barbecue videos and like the Mexican food there as well as fire. You just see that sort of stuff. So that to me is more appealing. You get the benefit of like that sort of culture that's more appealing to me. Like I'd prefer the Texas vibes. You just seem more down to earth, more my speed. And on top of that, you get great food. Sounds nice. But I have said before, like if I was to move, I'd probably go to like Florida, Tampa, Florida. It seems nice. It seems cool and easy going. It's like a mixture of like the city stuff, but also the laid back stuff as well. It seems balanced. So that's probably why I'll make that decision. If I was like hypothetically to move to the States, that's probably where I'd go. But you never know, man. You never know. If New York picks up again, gets its house in order, that would be a legitimate option. New York looks sick. It looks sick. Just like when you just look at it, it just looks amazing. But I factor in a whole bunch of other things as well: cost of living, safety, yeah, a whole bunch of things. That's what I factor in. So it's not enough to just look nice. This one guy was talking about how he had to move out of his apartment. He couldn't afford rent anymore or something, so he was eventually forced out or something. I can't remember the situation. But then he had to keep paying even after he left for like 6 months. He had to keep paying the rent and stuff. It was crazy. I don't know if it was an issue of rent he couldn't afford or if it was an issue of like COVID or something. I can't remember what happened with him. But he was forced out. And I was like, yeah. That's crazy, bro. So, let me know if you're from New York. Because y'all have been number one forever, it seems like, in terms of my viewership. New York pizza. New York pizza looks good. It seems plain though. I'm used to like, I think we've bastardized pizza. We've added all these ingredients that aren't in traditional pizza, but New York pizza looks like it's always just like cheese and tomato and not much else. Maybe like a pepperoni pizza, but it's never like anything fancy or like complicated. I'm used to like pizzas with like 5 meats on them, like, you know, all these different flavors. That's what I grew up with. That's what I'm used to. But I have to try out these other pizzas because people like say it's like really good, even though it looks plain. So I am interested to try it out and see what's going on. What all the fuss is about. Let me know if have you had New York pizza? Do you like it? In your opinion, which city or state in America makes the best pizza? I know that's an ongoing debate. I can't speak to it because, you know. I wouldn't know. Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Love to visit Malaysia. See what's going on over there in Malaysia. I've been thinking about. I'm constantly thinking about all these different parts of the world that are just emerging. It's very exciting. All the markets that are opening up. Argentina's doing well. It's been in a slump for more than a century at this point, but it's starting to look up. It's starting to look like they actually might deal with the ridiculous inflation and fix the country and make it more attractive to tourists and so on and so forth. So Argentina might be a nice place to visit, and the different parts of the world. Turkey, it wasn't on my radar at all, and then I found out that it's actually lit. There's this country called Georgia in Eastern Europe, which is also looking nice. I'm hearing, I know Venezuela gets a bad rap. Venezuela gets a very bad rap, but I'm hearing, you know, murmurs of positivity of sunlights on the horizon. So, you know, you never know where that country might be in a decade or so. So we have to keep our eyes peeled on that. And obviously Singapore has been a hot destination for a while now. Namibia, I was looking at the sand dunes in Namibia. This place is crazy, man. It's actually got a lot to offer in terms of tourism. Very attractive sights to see and stuff, like quaint towns with very colorful buildings and stuff, and a lot to do. Zanzibar is part of Tanzania. It's like an island off of Tanzania, and Zanzibar is beautiful. Like the town in Zanzibar is amazing, and the beach areas and all the activities you can do. And it looks genuinely like amazing. A lot of emerging markets. I'm realizing that Russia isn't like. I think part of what we've heard about Russia is straight up propaganda, and if you actually like watch videos of people living in Russia, it's not nearly as bad as you might think. They do have a birth crisis, serious birth crisis, but the country itself, it actually looks nice. I'm sure it's not perfect, but I'm just saying, from what I've seen, like I was watching this lady, she does vlogs and stuff, and it has some nice things to offer for tourists, at the very least for tourists. One might argue that the living situation there for citizens isn't great, but yeah, from what I've seen, there's a lot of promise there. One country that, oh my gosh, I'd be blessed to visit. It's like a micro, what do they call it? Let me Google Monaco. A micro state, I think is what it's called. Monaco. It's a city-state and micro-state on the French Riviera, a few kilometers west of the Italian region of Liguria, in Western Europe on the Mediterranean Sea. I'd love to visit Monaco, go to Monte Carlo. But that's like baller territory. That's like for like the rich folk. Well, I mean, as a tourist, you don't have to be rich. You're just a tourist, right? But if you want to live there, yeah. It's a different story. difference, but you have to be in a different tax bracket to live in a place like that. I was looking at like, I was watching a video, they're just talking about rent prices and stuff like that, and then property costs. Like if you want to buy a property there, oh my gosh, millions and millions of euros. I was like, no, okay. You definitely have to be in a different place in life to be comfortable there. And the restaurants, the food, the amount of money you pay for just eating out and stuff. Now, as a tourist, there are places you can go to get affordable food because they do know that tourism is a great source of their income. So obviously they're not going to scare tourists away by charging them too much. So as a tourist, you can go there and, you know, have a fun time and not pay too much. And I guess attend the races and all that sort of stuff, because I think there's a Formula One track there as well, and stuff like that. I'm sure there's a lot to offer. It's very small though. I heard you can walk across it in like a few hours. It's not a very big place. That's why they call it a micro state. But yeah, it looks beautiful. I'd love to go there. I am fascinated with Brazil. There are parts of Brazil I'd like to see. I've seen a couple of videos of people just touring Brazil. It looks nice. I've spoken about El Salvador a couple times, and I'm very, very excited to see the development of that country. It's going places. It's definitely going places, so I'm very excited for that country to see how it develops. Obviously Japan. Bro, the food in Japan, bro. Damn. Super looking forward to that. And South Korea. I'd like to visit. I'd like to visit India. India looks nice. I am scared of the crime, but it's just one of those places, man. I might be willing to take the risk just to see certain sights and try certain foods. But you hear so many horror stories of like tourists, like tourism gone wrong. They need to sort that out. That is unacceptable. You need to make it safe for your tourists, man, because people want to come. India has a lot to offer, but you know, you hear about the industries and like how they're working very hard and they're becoming a huge industry powerhouse. So there's hope for that nation in terms of its development and it becoming an economic world power and lifting its people out of poverty and stuff like that. So there's hope there for sure. I just hope that they can get a government competent enough to capitalize on the immense talent coming from that country. Because the issue with it doesn't make sense how so many people from that nation are so intelligent, like, but they go to other countries and enrich other nations. So like in America, for example, the highest earning households, one of the highest earning households are like Indian households. Highest earning demographics in the US. So it says Asian. I'm not sure if they mean let's see. So Asian Americans earn the most. But like, I want to know exactly like Indians, whether Indians fit in there. Anyway, all you need to know is Asians earn the most in America, like Asian households. And that includes Indians, and the stereotype of them owning 7-Elevens and whatnot. But hey, man, it earns them money, and they're doctors and they're this and they're that. They have tech jobs. They have this, and it just doesn't make sense that they are so industrious and so intelligent, but like the Indian nation isn't doing too great. So I think it's mismanagement. So the government needs to figure out that situation and really capitalize on all that talent that other countries are absorbing. Other countries are absorbing all that sort of stuff. There's a rap song by shout out to someone commented for me to check it out. This rapper Hanuman Kind. He has a song called Big Dogs. It's doing really well. It's garnered a lot of international attention. I was skeptical. I thought it was gonna be like one of these Desi rap songs, like with the accent and the language and stuff. It's like with hip hop, it's hard for that to translate internationally, like in terms of excitement and vibes. When it's in another language, it's hard for people to connect to it. But he did a good job of, to be frank, just Americanizing it. It just makes it more palatable for everyone else around the world, because hip hop is originally from America. That's the strain that people enjoy the most. If we're talking about strains of hip hop, the American strain is the most popular by far, and that Indian rap, I assume he's Indian. Let me Google him. Hanuman Kind. Where is he from? Kerala. I'm sure Kerala is in India. State of India, yeah. He's from India. He's doing well. So he's putting Indian rap on the map. Before him, there was another guy, Moose or something. I forgot his name. He died though, unfortunately. Let me Google prominent Indian rappers. I'm sure he will come up. He might not have been Indian because he's not showing up here. You'd think he'd be the first one. Oh, wait. Here's his picture. Sidhu Moosewala. Punjabi music. I never listened to his music, but I knew he was very popular. But why am I going 40 minutes? Damn, he was born 1993. He was only 7 years older than me. He died an untimely death, unfortunately. I'm not sure what killed him. Maybe why? How did he die? Oh, he got killed. That's crazy. That's yeah, he got caught up in some gangster shit. That's terrible. No, man. That's what I don't like about rap, about the hip hop culture, is all this gangster nonsense. Very unfortunate. Anyway. Hopefully this Hanuman Kind guy is not involved in any of that. Hopefully. Just make music, make money, make your fans happy. That's all you need to do. All the extracurricular nonsense. Stay far away from that. That was a long way of me saying that, India has a lot to offer. I'd like to visit it someday. Anyway, let me get out of here. What do you mean? I did not. to pray at the end of all my videos. Dear Father God, thank you for this individual watchers right now. Thank you for making them all unique and guiding them on a path towards peace, prosperity, and purpose. Thank you for blessing this person with the wonderful people in their life who love them, take care of them, and bring the absolute best out of them. And thank you for maintaining the ones that are there to do the same thing. Thank you for blessing this person with love and marriage, to stand in that love and marriage and make it very, very, very happy, 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 happy. Thank you for blessing this person with the spirit of gratitude so they can give thanks for all the wonderful things in their life. And by giving thanks, they can find peace, contentment, and grant even more blessings. Let your presence be felt in this person's life so they know that your God, that you are, that your love always going to be there for them.